Please don't touch that dial. 1, 2.
This is World Exposure with Cher Dial.
Hello, ECID. How are you today?
How are you?
Great. I would just like to welcome you to World Exposure with Cher Dial, and we have the pleasure of talking with ECID today from Minneapolis.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I know you're a local hip-hop artist here in Minneapolis. Maybe you could tell us about were you born and raised here and how you got into, your music.
Definitely. Yep, I was born and raised here. Raised by just my mom. And it was awesome. I can't really complain.
Yeah, right.
Great. And I got into music when I was probably early teens. I started just really getting into from anything from Nirvana to Outkast to Ice Cube to Bone Thugs and Harmony to everything. But rap really caught me. And
yeah, what was it about rap that struck a chord with you?
I think probably the honesty in it and the middle finger, no holds barred attitude, especially because I grew up kind of on mid-90s rap, I guess, when I was in my formative years.
Uh-huh.
So I really took to stuff that had a little bit of a edge to it more,
Right.
That wasn't afraid to really say, if they were pissed off, they said they were pissed off. They didn't dance around it, And I guess that being a young teenager, that it catches you.
Right. Because you're able to express yourself really through your music.
Yeah, totally.
Now, I was wondering about maybe you could tell us a little bit too about your new release coming out. That's got to be exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Post Euphoria is the name,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of the actual album that I'm working on is called Pheromone Heavy, and it's kind of a reference to because I do heat yoga, so I really like to sweat it out.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever done heat yoga before, but
No, what is heat yoga?
it's it's a yoga practice,
Uh-huh.
but it's in a heated room. So it's
Really?
104 degrees and you sweat everything out of you, and it's very cleansing and kind of reinvigorating.
Right.
Do that a few times a week. So, and I'm actually going to become a yoga instructor.
Wow, that's interesting.
The next year or two and tie it into my music. So the new album is kind of a lot of in a way it's very it's very funny and I'm having a lot of it's playful, but it's also really personal and kind of intimate too.
Live from the mind of a Looney Tune lunatic. Who is this? ECID in Technicolor Zuba print. This the crew get drop kick, DJ pseudonym. I'll take
2 or 3. Okay, yeah, I know. I graduated. I was part of the second class ever to go there.
What a bunch of talented, people that come out of that school.
Oh yeah,
Unbelievable.
A lot of the staff here is from IPR too, so.
really?
Yeah. How did the courses you took there help you with your music?
I would say, tremendously, because when I went to IPR, I was creative and I wanted to I had the drive to do it, but I didn't know how, I never even had a computer in my, I never even had my own computer yet, or I hadn't made beats or anything. I had an ear for it and really wanted to do it, but I didn't understand basic musical theory, so I needed all the really I just needed to learn the basics really, and from that I used it as a launching pad just to I was young too, so I had I could for 5 years just experiment with every different style that I wanted to.
Take it or leave it, love it or live it wholeheartedly. I'm trying to lessen the stress on my favorite arteries. These days,
I have a manager, and he just kind of helps me with pretty much everything that I'm I need you to help me with this, And then a lot of a lot of promotion. I mean, I pretty much like put together my own campaigns and stuff.
Yeah.
But like for shows in town, I have people that help like hand out flyers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know. But for the show that I have coming up, I've been like outwardly kind of going out and being on Twitter like, I'm at this show and I've got 10 tickets. Let me know if you want a ticket to my show. And that
Yeah,
kind
I saw you're big on Facebook and a lot of posts and a lot of different things. And it also said it said that you're taking a new direction not only in your life but your music is
Yes.
changing. And I thought that was interesting. And so, what exactly changes are you making? And is it the music that's changing, or is it your life that's changing?
I think it's both at the same time. Over the last few years, I've always been into other genres and stuff, but now more or less I'm into all these different groups, from Purity Ring to somebody is now mainstream as the Black Keys, or
Right.
just I'm inspired by like all music across the board. So I'm trying to reflect that more in my music, my multiple influences, you know, and trying to do more like harmonizing and just like stuff like that maybe not every rapper tries to do, or maybe shouldn't try to do. I don't even know if I should try to.
Right.
I'm trying to, because I'm trying to push my own boundaries and like just get better and make better, inspiring music. In doing that too, it's like I've learned how to like, because I'm one of my own faults is that I follow my own like artistic voice almost too much sometimes, where it's like, wait, somebody's listening to this. Like, I got to bring you in a little bit. So like, you know, I've been trying to kind of like scale back the like really ridiculous metaphors and more or less have something that everyone hears it and they're like, I feel that way too, you know?
Right. Do any of your lyrics ever cause any type of controversy with anybody?
I don't know. I could see them doing that, but I haven't come across it yet, because I've definitely experimented with a lot of different styles of storytelling. I've also made songs that are very like personal, you know, about my own life and stuff like that. But I think those wouldn't really offend people.
Right.
I used to know this dude named Ahmad Salam. He came to
The scene here is very like supportive, and kind of once you become friends with everybody, then they're kind of at every show you do. So I don't really think it's hard. I have other friends in other cities that don't have support. They don't even have, like, the people in the town don't care at all. Yeah. So we're super lucky here.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing that sucks is that it's hard to get, like, I feel like a lot of times, especially for hip hop, we're still kind of not really respected outside of here.
Right.
In the media and stuff like that. You know, they still kind of always look to New York and LA for hip hop, and even Seattle and Chicago.
Yeah, but Minneapolis is unbelievable. I mean, I'm from Chicago, and I was in Nashville, and even Nashville, they had just every kind of music. And I just interviewing, though, people like literally all around the world, hip hop is really gaining momentum. You know, I don't think it's going to be, a long time before it does take off here. I really don't.
Yeah. No, I agree. Because every time I go anywhere else, they're always like, you're from Minneapolis. Oh my God. So many awesome rappers from there.
With a bloated vegetable. So next thing you know, he's yelling, fuck the coach. I'm gonna go for broke and get a new approach. It's time to show the globe. I can learn to flow to many overdose of fast cash and gold. He wanted it all, but who doesn't? With the team, no discussion about
Man. Well, I lived in Northeast for a couple of years, and there was a coffee shop at 29th and Johnson, and all the people, all the staff know me, and that's like my little, like, I like go there to write sometimes or get stuff done. Love that place.
Do you ever write for other musicians?
I make beats for other people.
Uh-huh.
But I haven't done like ghost writing yet.
Right.
It's fun though. I wouldn't not do it.
Yeah. Are there any other music styles that inspire you to write other than rap or hip hop?
Yeah, definitely. Any like indie rock is where I get a lot of my inspiration to try like different harmonies and melodies within hip hop, and I really like there's a new scene of like instrumental music. They call it like the beat scene, like Flying Lotus and all they're kind of like they're taking instrumental music to like kind of a different territory, but I don't know, it's super inspiring. I really like the way that they do, and they do like a lot of live production and live sequencing.
Yeah, it's an art, really, you know. I mean, hip hop is an art, I think.
Yeah, oh, of course. Every form of expression
right
is an art form and should be treated accordingly.
Exactly. I was going to mention your video, Go High Lion.
Why? Go high or don't go at all. These days, good alibis are hard to buy. Good morning, Donkey Kong. I mean Viet Cong. I mean Vietnam. I mean we've been gone. Meet and greet with the white sheets of Dom. Talking propaganda, massage and a bomb. Oh, Geronimo, let's go to Guantanamo. Light up a Cuban and play a game of dominoes. Then vomito, swat so monotone. I thought it was a campground for those that search for marijuana smoke. Shit, this is prison for terrorists? Are you on Facebook? Are you a fan of a therapist? Cause there's this friend of mine writing a narrative that needs a good ear to file share his embarrassment. What a screwball cartoon Zoolander. Who's after who and who's changing whose pampers? Oh dear, life is a deer in headlights. Better hold on tight to them antlers. Lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, don't mind me for asking, just asking why. Go high.
Yeah.
I love that video. I love the beat. I love everything about it. How was that making it? It seems like a really well-produced video.
Yeah, it was super fun. It was kind of like
It was fun.
and that one we didn't really have much of a budget for, and it was just kind of like let's just buy a bunch of paint. And I invited fans and just kind of got a couple of people that were like, I can get 5 people and I can get 5 people, and just anybody that was willing to get paint thrown at them.
Yeah, really.
Messy. It was just a mess.
But how fun, you know?
Great. That was probably the funnest video that I've shot so far. It was like a warehouse. We rented out like a little warehouse in Northeast, actually, in the like Noiseland. They press CDs for artists, like have like a warehouse there, and we use that. Just put like plastic tarp down on the floor, and yeah. No, we definitely try to cover our tracks, but it was still a mess.
I believe it.
I love the beat on that song. It's just great. It's just, the whole thing is just awesome. And what about the song Oh Well?
Happiness is a tough sell.
Well, you know,
Sounds personal.
it is. It's kind of like a calling out of because you know I have a couple of friends that have had their struggles with getting over addiction and stuff like that, and a lot of times kind of you hear the same story over and over again when you're kind of like, hey, are you all right? Like, and then it's always like, yeah, I'm doing better actually, and
Right.
it's kind of always that, and you just kind of hit a point where you're like, oh, I mean, not to, you know, it was kind of like a I don't even know what you call it. Like it's a harsh thing to say, like, oh well, you know, like what
Yeah.
can I do now? Like, but eventually you have to kind of just let somebody find their own way to it,
Right.
and so that's kind of what that song was about. And
Yeah, you know, I was going to ask you, like, with your music, and I know, I'm sure, you know, younger people are, you know, look to you and like your music, and just with all the society the way it is, I mean, just
Yeah.
basically in the world, it's not just here, it's everywhere. You know, what do you say to these young kids to inspire them to not give up on their dreams and that they can make it? Because I think some kids just don't believe that they can.
yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, I just always try to, like, everyone that I'm around, sometimes I might even be a little abrasive about it, even where it's just like, because I'm usually, anything that I get into, like yoga, for example, I get so into it, or I just like tell everyone around me, like, no, you should do that. Do
Yeah.
it. Oh, and I do that with fans that come to my shows and ask me about stuff. I'm like, yeah, you should try that. And I'm a great example of somebody that, like, when I started doing music, I had no form of training and know what I was doing. but I had the heart for it and the passion. I didn't have the money,
Right.
the resources, the contacts, or anything, and I just took 10 years of my life,
Yeah, right.
went for it, and then it kind of emerged into something, you know, and anybody can do that. It's just you have to like sacrifice for it and fight for it.
Right.
And you might ruin a couple friendships along the way.
Sure, but you got to keep going.
But that's just part of the game. That's just life, you know.
Right, and you have a huge following, and I think that's wonderful. What can somebody who has never been to one of your concerts expect when they go to see you?
Expect me to try to get them to sing and dance.
Really?
and sing along as much as possible.
Uh-huh.
And if I don't sweat, then it wasn't a good show.
Right.
If I sweat, it was a good show. But it's got to be, you know, energy. That's like, regardless of what the song sounds like in the studio, it's like when I play, I want to just rage out and have fun, and like the most serious song, I'll laugh after it's done. Like
Really?
It's a schizophrenic set, and it's fun.
People don't float where the sun won't shine. A fun-filled low is a cutthroat tide. The hunters know where the young bones hide. One boy grows while the one boy cries. Coming undone, coming untied. Running to the wall till the river runs dry. Lovers in a hallway living like flies. Up against a window, looking outside like I wanna be there, I wanna be that. I don't wanna be here down on my kneecaps, waiting for the feedback, thinking of the relapse. Gain a little attention to see how they react. Relax, oh, easier said than done. But my head's been hung high, out to dry till I reach the end. I got no regret, cause at least I try.
And true to the who up, wearing a tooth for and I hate you. Then where you been, working at the sawmill, trying to pay bills, playing with pain thrills. Hey, faith kills, but a faithful angel says you can hang 10 on my favorite halo. If you stay close to Satan, safe old say no's caked in a famous last phrase fatal. Trying to turn a bridge into a table, spin a bitch as it cut off the cable. Who knows what I know, but I know what I know is a little bit about a lot of simple shit you can take home. I made a maze out of clay and Play-Doh, and one day it'll be mud on my ankles. Life's just some money, hungry hussy, begging to get bathed in gold.
For all we know, you could've crawled away.
We can let it rock, we can let it grow.
For all we know, you could've crawled away.
We can let it rock, we can let it grow.
So I took one step in the right direction, one breath and the stress did lessons learning unless I let it burn, concerning the ex-perfection. I will never yell unless I'm threatened. I can never tell where the hell's reflection. Is this another spell or a dead connection? Melt the mess and swell with passion. Farewell to the manic in fantasy land with a handful of plastic and plans to attach it to every advancement he made.
Exactly. Well, once again, I just want to say thank you so much. Today we are talking with ECID from Minneapolis about your awesome career.
At the end of the daylight, all we fuck the vanity.
Yeah, I mean, there's two different ways to do it. You can basically get on as an official performer with the festival,
Okay.
and that's kind of like it's a bit of a strenuous process, and it's harder for hip hop artists, just because I think there's so many, and it's still kind of like an indie rock, more just indie, like hipster based festival. So what I've started doing, instead of like, because you can also pay for a slot on certain showcases, you knew that, and then there's also the more like I'm playing a pool party that a local guy is throwing, you know, and he just invited me to do it like I did it last year.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of those kind of things. Like there's another group, the Chicharrones, that do a boat party every year, you know, so you just kind of like through the grapevine start hearing about all these different showcases. And a lot of times because you're there, people will just put you on it. Like I'm playing another one that another rap artist named Cher Dial is putting together with like a bunch of kind of bigger artists, and I didn't have to pay to get on it or anything. I don't make any money doing it, but it's really not about that. It's about being there and rubbing elbows and like,
Yeah, that's cool.
That's crazy.
yeah, it's insane. It really is. And it's like you get up and you go there at like 10 in the morning or 11, and you're going until 3 or 4 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah,
Get up and do it
really.
again.
Yep.
That's exactly what I did.
That's crazy. Well, I know you're going actually on tour March 1st, the Joyride Tour
Yep.
with Sean Anonymous, and that's actually going to end up at South by Southwest.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of why we booked it. Just
That's
as like
cool.
a way to raise some money so that we can kind of like eat while we're down there and
Right.
all of that stuff, and then go back. And then once we get home, then I have the release show. So.
Well, that's all exciting. That's all exciting news. Would there be any way you would be able to maybe give us a little sample of some of your music?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Just I just figured a cappella would probably be
Sure.
easiest, right?
Yeah, that's
Well, I'll
great.
do a new one from, like, this verse isn't going to be released for a while, but it's kind of one of my favorite ones of late. That's it. No revolution coupon, no been there, done that, sentimental crew song, no nude blonde telling you you can never do wrong, no good for you, good luck, incredible, you moved on. Just a piece of paper with your name stitched in. Go out and make a name for yourself, fit in. Who needs to move, man? I'm already lived in. I feel so renewed, I'm shoes in a thrift bin. Sure, I could tell you everything is awesome. I'm sure it'll never feel as real as the bottom. Sure, you could turn all your problems into profits if you really wanted, but that's a whole other problem. Good thing I flunked out on graduation day. Been in summer school ever since, getting straight A's. And I don't trust dreams, they keep me awake. I sleep with one eye open, I've been studying space.
Wow, that is cool. Thank you for that.
For sure.
That's amazing. I mean, that you can just go into that. I mean, and you feel it. And that's just, that, I love that. I love that about you. That's really great. Now, I was going to ask about your artwork. Do you do your own artwork?
No, I always hire friends to do it, and then a lot of times I have like an idea or kind of like, crib notes, like I want it to be like this, but I generally have, I can't do it on my own. What's that? Yes.
That's our little mascot here, W.I. Poser. He actually comes and brings us questions from your fans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is actually one of your fans that wanted to know a question, and they said, is there something that you have always wanted to do but were scared to do?
I always wanted to do but scared to do. That is such a loaded question.
Yeah, really?
Of course.
Right.
I would say one of the biggest things, maybe, I don't know if I was scared, but I think sometimes like right now where I'm at in my life, I'm living alone and I'm trying my best to like not have a girlfriend and focus on my career.
Oh, really?
A lot of times, I'm a hopeless romantic at heart and all of that. But I realize that like my time right now is kind of like, it's like either I make my career like really get to the point that I want it, or else I kind of need to like turn it into a hobby kind of. And
right.
I kind of believe in it too much to do that. So right now I'm kind of like putting myself on lockdown, and I'm okay with it. I got my 2 dogs. I got my own place, and it's sweet. But it's one of those things that you're kind of scared of at first, like, is this gonna suck or
right.
what? Or even like yoga instructing. I've been talking about it for like a year, and I just threw myself into it, and I'm starting training in April.
That's unbelievable. That's really inspiring to me that, you would do that. I mean, what a great, inspiration to people to, to see another side of you too, and they say the meditation with yoga is just so wonderful. And I'm sure that helps you in your music and everything.
Oh, it does. It changed the way that I write songs. That's why also my music has changed a lot, because it made me like, just I felt like everything kind of slowed down, like
right.
just the way that and I think of things a lot more definitively.
Right.
When I get an idea, it's like I get the whole song all at once, like point A to point B. Like I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. I can do this. Let's write it right now. And it's a lot more, I just feel more sharp.
Right. Are there any demons that you've ever had to get over? You know, sometimes people go through things and it changes, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I went through some rough stuff with a high school sweetheart.
It's 20:30.
You know, that kind of screwed me up. Maybe where I just didn't trust people at all for a while.
Uh-huh.
But I got over that, you know.
Right.
Or like growing up never knowing your dad. It's always kind of a weird thing, and it's like when I was younger, I think that it was a big deal. Now it's totally fine because my perspective on it's a lot different. But when you're young and you feel abandoned and whatever,
right?
I felt like I was searching for some kind of outlet when I was younger, and I got kind of into a lot of stuff that I shouldn't have,
right,
you know, because of it.
But doesn't it make you feel good that you can progress and use that and go, wow, I did this, I did that, but look at me now, you know, kind of that kind of thing?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's a great rewarding, you know. I think everybody has to go through things in life, so it doesn't, you know, I never say why me or this or that. I think everybody, no matter who you are, goes through things, and it just, you know, it makes them grow, you know?
Yeah. And I think the best thing about it is trying to share it and document it. And like I always like when something awful happens, like a death in the family or death of a friend or you know, you lose your job, whatever.
Right.
It's like you don't want to be creative, but a lot of times that's like the best time to actually like go and just pour your heart out for hours, and you don't even have to release the song, just having that outlet, you know.
Right. Well, I really like what you did for us today. That was great.
That's the guy that slept on the bench at the bus stop. You had a way of erasing everybody's morning mugshot. Plucked your ribcage for spare peace of mind. It was better than
you know, there's a song by Rihanna that's suck my cockiness, lick my persuasion. And yeah, that song is awesome. The beat is great. I don't even know if that's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, really.
There's a Tom Petty song, Breakdown.
I love that song.
I don't really...
I love that song. That's like one of those songs that it's like, you hear it and it just like gets stuck in your head all day long, you know? What about other music? Do you sing on stage anything other than your music? Do you sing
in a boys' choir or anything?
Right, exactly.
I kind of want to get into like playing like myself and Ashley Gold. She's like a local singer. She's on my new EP, and we were talking about doing like an album that I like, or like an EP where I produce for her. So I kind of want to get into like where I'm playing beats live for like a singer.
Oh, that's cool.
Or like doing drum, like playing drum machine in like a band or something. I think that'd be fun, you know. But to this point, I just do my own music, you know.
Right. Well, that's great. So. That's wonderful. What about if you could tell us a little bit about Fill in the Breaks?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it started 5-6 years ago now. You know, as just a means to get my music out there, as well as my other friends that, you know, that I have been working with, that I usually, like, if I, you know, produce an album for a rapper, and it'd be like, well, let's just put it under Fill in the Breaks, you know, so that we have a brand and kind of like a stamp of approval, you know, so that people that once they keep seeing it, then they start to trust it and they want to check out everything related to it, you know. And it's been a learning experience, because trying to start a label nowadays it's not really like money's being thrown at you, you know. So it's a labor of love, and kind of like it takes a lot of effort and time to make it stay around, stay afloat. But now I think over the last couple of years, a lot of technology and new things online have made it easier to to continue to do it. Or now
Unbelievable. Because like I said, I mean, I see a lot of your posts on Facebook, and what a great way to get the word out, which you never would have been able to do, 15, 20 years ago, Yeah, and I mean, people can just click on your iTunes and hear your music, and I mean, it's just awesome.
Yeah, it's all right there, and so I'm, we're gonna do a record store day event this year too, and release like a free compilation that day, and just trying to be more and more interactive with it, because it's all about direct to fans, really. That's kind of the new thing. Instead of wasting all this money and putting the CDs in every store, where people probably don't know about this artist yet, just it's like go to Bandcamp, buy it that way, or even you can get as direct to fan as PayPal me $10 and I'll email you a link to the album.
Right. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. Well, I just wish you nothing but continued success. And I want to again mention your March 23rd at the Triple Rock release of your new CD. And I think that's going to be great. I think me and April will be coming down there to see you.
Oh, sweet.
Triple Rock is one of my favorite venues too. So.
Yeah. She's going to try to be the worst dressed, which is going to be very hard for her. That'll be very hard for her. But listen, it was just so much fun talking with you today and getting to know you. And it's such a pleasure. And like I said, you have such a great following here in Minneapolis. And I just, wish you nothing but continued success.
Definitely. Thank you. Great talking to you guys, too.
Yeah, and thank you so much for joining us here on World Exposure with Cher Dial.
We're searching for some way, somehow, something right now, right now. You can sell smiles, but they buy frowns. There goes Tokyo.